Hello lovely people, how are you today? Recently on Twitter I asked you to send me your book-related questions and you did! I said I'd answer those questions in a video, so here's that video. The first question from Lucy Dobbin at Lucy Dobbs. Favourite Harry Potter novel out of the series and why? I would have to go with Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban. Lots of people say it's the best one. I personally think it's the best one as well. Although it does have the incredibly massive Deus Ex Machina that is the time turner thingy. But I like it because it goes into another, it's kind of like Inception. It kind of goes into another level of just wizardry and magic, you know, when, you know, they can't see themselves from the past and stuff. I just thought it was really clever. The movie is also amazing as well, like all of the Harry Potter movies. Diana Sack at Ivana Sack, I'm sorry if I just butchered your name. What's your favourite book and who's your favourite author? Well, that's quite a big question. I just have a collection of some of my favourite books here. I have J.D. Salinger's Catcher in the Rye, fantastic book. Great Gatsby F. Scott Fitzgerald, again amazing. Christopher Isherwood's A Single Man is greatest ending to a novel ever and also a fantastic, beautiful film. Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-5 is again amazing, and modern book, surprisingly, David Nichols' Start for 10. The book's brilliant, the film's brilliant, I just love this, but don't go near one day. One other book that is also one of my favourite books that I don't actually have on me right now, it's somewhere in Madagascar, really, is John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men. Who's my favourite author? Well, favourite author, you know, changes all the time, but the author that I'm currently trying to read through is Kurt Vonnegut. I have a couple other of his books. I have Cat's Cradle, Sirens of Titan, Player Piano and stuff as well, but I still think that Slaughterhouse-5 is his magnum opus. So yeah, Kurt Vonnegut. From Darren O'Driscoll at Darren O'Driscoll. Hi, I can see your house from my window. Who is a better character, Frodo or Bilbo Baggins, and why? Even though I own all of the Lord of the Rings books and The Hobbit, never read them. Never read them. I really need to know. Actually, I got 2/3 into Fellowship of the Ring when I was like 14, and I was driven to absolute madness. If I hear one more description of a blade of grass, I was going to kill someone. Anyway, so yeah, I really need to get around to reading them. And lastly, from Darren O'Driscoll, at Darren O'Driscoll, have you ever built a fort out of books? No, but when I was younger I built a fort out of VHS tapes. From Laura Clockley, at Laura Clockley, if I said your name incorrectly, I'm sorry. If you could read one genre of books for the rest of your life, what would it be? Fiction? Fiction's a genre, don't tell me fiction isn't a genre. Also from Laura Clockley, if you were to write a book, what would it be about? I'd probably write something along the lines of magical realism, to be honest. Another one from Laura Clockley, this is great. Which author would you like to meet and why? Well, I split that question into two. I'm going to split it into dead authors and alive authors. Any dead authors that I would have liked to have met would have definitely been F. Scott Fitzgerald. If you've seen Midnight in Paris, you know, I would have preferred to have met Zelda though, to be honest. And Kurt Vonnegut, once again, I just love Kurt Vonnegut so much. Any author that is alive that I would like to meet is probably Terry Pratchett. If you haven't read any of the Discworld novels, I highly suggest them. They're just hilarious and brilliant. And lastly, from Laura Clockley, favourite fictional character from a book? Oh my goodness. How could I possibly choose? I mean, you've Gatsby, you have Holden Caulfield, you have Billy Pilgrim. Oh my goodness, I could possibly never choose. I quite like Minnie. I recently read The Help. I loved Minnie. There needs to be more Minnie. I want an entire encyclopedia dedicated to Minnie, please. From Arpad Alex, at Alex_Arpad. Are you the person who writes in books, folds corners, etc., or rather worships every copy and treats it like something sacred? Well, a couple of years ago I used to always have to bend the spines. I used to have to just completely break the spines for it to flow. And then suddenly I was like, oh god, that's really ugly. And now I don't really break the spines that often, unless it's a big book, unless it's like 500 pages. You need to break the spine realistically. I don't really write in books that often, only like in my Catcher in the Rye, because I'm studying it for my leaving cert. It is quite well highlighted. I don't mind highlighting and writing in books at all. They're paper, they're meant to be written on, in my opinion. And for bending down, dog-eared books just look ugly. Just use a bookmark. From Maria C. at Maria Crow 7, opinions on the Great Gatsby movie. face. I went to see The Great Gatsby movie recently in the cinema and I just thought it was brilliant. It's a really good adaptation. Adaptation. On IMDb I gave it 8 out of 10. I thought it was much too Baz Luhrmann for its own good. I did think it was, hey, what if we got Moulin Rouge instead in America? But I hate it. At the beginning, why is Nick Carraway an alcoholic and writing it from some sort of psychiatric hospital kind of thing? I was like, oh, that's a bit... That doesn't happen in the book. And the end, I'm not going to discuss the ending of the very end of the novel, but at the very end, a major character from Gatsby's life turns up, and that doesn't happen in the film. Which I was quite disappointed at. But if you're looking for a good adaptation, go to the 1970s version of The Great Gatsby, which is 10 out of 10. It has Robert Redford as Jay Gatsby and Mia Farrow as Daisy Buchanan, and it's just brilliant. It is a fantastic, fantastic adaptation. And I highly suggest that over the Baz Luhrmann film. These next 3 questions weren't actually sent to me through Twitter, they're sent to me through Snapchat. So, add me on Snapchat. Bazpierce is my username there. Send me the weirdest shit you can find. I love it. Anyway, the first question is, have you read any Percy Jackson books? No, and I hated that film. Sorry if you like Percy Jackson. It's basically Harry Potter, but with Logan Lerman. Have you read any Stephen King books? No. Because Stephen King books tend to be a good 1,000 pages long. So, I'd rather just watch The Shining, to be honest. And what inspired you to start reading? I've always read. I can't remember a time in which I didn't read. I mean, ever since junior, senior infants, I've always been reading a book. I don't think I've never not been reading a book. And the last question, from Shannon Jalal, at Shannon Jalal. Hello, I'm sorry if I ruined your name there. Have you ever watched a film that, in your opinion, is better than the book? I know a lot of booktubers say, oh, the book is always better, the book is always better. The book isn't always better. To be honest, it is the original medium, but it can be improved on. But yes, there are a couple of films which are as good as the book, and I have some examples of them here. Hunter S. Thompson's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is a fantastic adaptation. Terry Gilliam just did a brilliant job on the film. And if you've seen that film and don't think that, the hallucinations and the lizards in the casino, might work well in print, oh my goodness, they work so well in print. Another film which is as good as the book, even though they changed a bit of it. By they, I meant the master changed it. Anthony Burgess is A Clockwork Orange. Brilliant, 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 brilliant book. I love this book so much, and I love that film. Clockwork Orange is such a great film. I mean, it's Kubrick. I don't think I can do a film now without mentioning a video without mentioning Kubrick now, but read Anthony Burgess's A Clockwork Orange and watch the film. They're both brilliant on their own. The last book to movie adaptation that I personally thought worked really well. Lots and lots of people are against me on this, but Watchmen. I thought the book, it's a graphic novel. I thought it was just as good as the film, even though it was directed by Zack Snyder, who is a very, oh my god. I read the graphic novel of 300, which is by Frank Miller. That completely changed it, even though I have 300 over there on Blu-ray. That is a good enough film, even though it is Zack Snyder. And then he did Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is... it's cancer on film. Zack Snyder is recently, it's out today actually, the new Superman film. I don't know how he's going to do it. I have some reservations because of the director, because Zack Snyder can be a bit, look at this background detail, who cares if it doesn't have a plot? Look, there's background detail. But yeah, Watchmen, fantastic, 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 fantastic graphic novel, and good enough film. I started this video optimistically thinking that I'd probably get it under 5 minutes. I haven't edited it yet, but if it is under 5 minutes, it will be a miracle. I'm going to have to edit the absolute poop out of this video, but anyway, I'm trying to get my videos back down to the 3-minute loop, because my last couple of videos have been 8, 10, 15 minutes long, which is, I'm not Kubrick, I can't pull off 3-hour films. Anyway, yeah, there are your book questions answered, and until next time, lovely people, goodbye.